Hey, button pushers, welcome back to a normal lost phone. It's time to cast the controller on over once again. Last time we got onto the forum site where Sam was out and open about being trans and talking to other folks that were LGBT, and we discovered slash confirmed that her cycled through all of them right there, didn't I? Their cousin, because I was gonna say that. Anyway, we discovered that her cousin, Eric, was gay and disowned for that, and that her parents and aunt and uncle are all homophobic. So now we're going to go ahead. We've read the introductions and general ranting. We're going to go ahead and read Coming Out. Desi Star. This section is all about coming out. If you've done it and want to talk about it, this is the place. If you haven't dared to try yet and you want some encouragement, you've come to the right place too. Sunshine. Hi, this is the first time I visited this kind of forum, so sorry if this isn't the right place for this post, but I'm completely lost and I don't know what to do. My boyfriend told me he's trans. I don't understand. I really don't understand. How does someone think that? He's always been very masculine. He plays hockey. He has a big beard. Where does he get the idea he's a woman? Not to mention that he's got a penis. We're gonna finish reading this. He said he's not bothered by his sex, but is he gonna cut it off? He told me he's sure and that he wants to start being a woman at home, but I don't know. I don't understand. I'm scared. Is he going to start shaving and wearing skirts? It's ridiculous. Did he really just mean to say that he's gay but doesn't want to admit it? Is he gonna leave me for a man? Help. Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. I think before I say anything, because again, this isn't a subject in which I'm versed enough to feel right giving out information, we're going to see what they say in the game first, and I'll see if I can fill in any spots. Whoa there, calm down. There are a lot of questions in your message, so I'm going to try and answer them all the best I can. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on making the effort to come here and ask your questions. It's the best way to get some constructive answers from people who understand. I know that you feel lost, particularly because this is the first time you've encountered a trans person. To start off, take a deep breath. It might not all make sense to begin with, but that's normal. It's complicated for most people. To try and explain the concept of being transgender simply, try to remember this. Sex is between the legs, gender between the ears. When we're born, we normally take on the gender that matches our sex. Sometimes it matches and so we're cis, sometimes it doesn't match and so we're trans, which is the case of the person you're with. It's not the kind of thing that happens suddenly. Trans people normally take years to realize that something isn't right, and then a few more years to clearly identify the source of their problem, their gender. Sometimes it takes less time, but it's still not something that happens overnight. And then you have all the difficulties that come with trying to present as your gender, and all the discrimination you face when you start to transition. Being transgender isn't a choice. It's simply realizing who you really are inside. Coming out is a different thing, however. Some people never tell anyone they are transgender for various reasons. But I'm going off topic. With regards to the fears you have over the sex of the person you're being with, being transgender doesn't automatically mean undergoing genital operations. Basically, being trans is how you feel, it's how you identify, it's your identity. And it doesn't always have to do with how your body looks and what you do or don't do to change it. Someone's gender can be different to the one they were assigned at birth, but they will still be comfortable with their sex. Being transgender just means that the person wants to be recognized by others as the gender they identify with and not the one they were given. So the person you're with has told you that she's comfortable with having a penis. It's not an unusual situation for transgender people. About her wanting to present it as a woman at home, no one can really answer that for you. It's different for everyone. Some trans women wear makeup, some don't. Some dress in a very feminine way with bras and accessories. Some dress in a very feminine way with dresses and accessories. Others just wear a bra, sit down together, and have a talk about it. Finally, gender is very different from sexual orientation. They're two separate things. I don't know anything about the sexual orientation of the person you're with, but she might be homosexual, she might like women, she might be bisexual, or anything in between. It's something else you need to sit down and talk about. It's normal to feel lost in this kind of situation and to have some problems. Generally, the partners of trans people go through the same stages of grief, as grief during their partner's transition. They deny it, become sad, angry. It's perfectly normal. Communication is essential to prevent as many problems as possible in the months or years to come. Good luck with everything. I have nothing to add, and I'm very glad I read that before I tried to fumble my way through it. That is very good information. It matches a lot of what I learned. Great answer, Hetty Boss. It's great to see someone so motivated to give such in-depth answers to others. I'd like to expand on a few points. Not all trans people feel that something isn't right. Sometimes they feel happy with their lives but realize that traditional and elements related to the opposite gender make them happier. For example, identifying as the opposite gender in an online game or wearing makeup when it comes to trans women. So not all trans people, I think, are necessarily unhappy, thankfully. Sunshine, I recommend looking for other groups of people who are in the same situation as you. I know it helped my friend out a lot at the time when I came out. You could try going to your local LGBT center, if there is one, and like Hetty Boss 17, I'd like to wish you good luck. It might not always seem that way, but things do get better with time. Flip Flop Flap. I love your name, Flip Flop Flap. If you really love your partner, I just noticed that all of the icons are cats. Like, I noticed some of them were, and I was like, oh, that's cute, but I only just noticed that all of them are cats. It's ironic because my first game on this channel was Find the Cat or whatever, and I apparently learned nothing. If you really love your partner, you need to understand that she's going to need very careful attention, and it's not always going to be easy because beginning a transition can be very exhausting mentally. One way to help might be to start referring to her using her preferred pronouns. As this person has told you they feel like a woman, it would be probably better to talk about her using feminine pronouns. H says so. I agree with Flip Flop Flap that we need to be careful not to misgender people. Using the right pronouns is the first stage of acceptance. On the other hand, this person might not want you to use feminine pronouns to refer to them. Ideally, you should ask her what she prefers. Sunshine. Thanks, Tessie, Sar, and Hetty Boss for your answers. I'll admit I was really worried when I wrote my first post. I think you've really helped me to take a step back and see things more clearly. I'm still worried, though. I'm not a lesbian at all. I've always liked men. After him coming out to me, I thought about it, and I really can't see myself being with a woman. I love my man, but I don't know if I can love him as a woman. That's another big question for the partners of trans people. Unfortunately, no one other than you can answer that one. Maybe you should take some time and wait a while to see the transition and decide what you'd want to do in the long haul. If you find you can still love them a partner, then great, but if that's not the case, it's not the end of the world. Really. This person is going through a transition so they can feel better about themselves. They're not doing it to make you uncomfortable or make you unhappy. Everyone has their preferences, and if you're straight and it doesn't work for you, there's nothing you can do about it. If that's the case, the best thing to do is separate, and it's no one's fault. Though their transition is going to take a lot of kindness and understanding on your part, don't forget that you have needs too, and you look out for your own well-being as well. It's awful not to know, but take the time to think about it. Whatever happens, the right decision is the one that makes you happy, and it'll all work out sometime. In any case, I really hope it goes well for you, Sunshine. Personally, I wouldn't even dare to come out to my girlfriend, because I'm sure she'd never accept it. I already tried mentioning to her once that I was wondering about my sexuality and that I thought I might be attracted to guys and girls, and she told me that it was impossible, that you either had to be straight or gay, and if I was gay, that it was something that needs fixing. So I think telling her that I want her to think of me as a girl isn't even worth the effort. Melissa! Why? Melissa, no. Melissa. Okay, let's go. Well, the way your girlfriend thinks is shit. Of course you can be bisexual and like girls and guys at the same time, or even non-binary people. And thinking that being gay is something that needs to be fixed? Seriously? Why on earth are you with her? She's got plenty of good qualities apart from that. This is back in November. Yeah, but still, how can you be with someone who can't accept you for who you are? It's complicated. I prefer not to talk about it here. Okay, sorry. I won't push anymore. I don't understand. What's the difference between bi and trans? Whoa. Even I know that one. I repeat, gender is very different from sexual orientation. Gender is what you are, sexual orientation what you are attracted to. You might be trans and be attracted to men, women, or both, or none. Being none. There's ace. It's very small, but they include ace. I have not said it as such on the channel, but I might as well go ahead and say it here. I am on the ace spectrum myself. I don't think I've said it on the channel. I know I've mentioned it on my streams, so just to be absolutely sure, I've said it in both places. I'm on the ace spectrum, which means I am some degree of asexual. I'm still muddling out which specifically. I don't really feel up for explaining that further. If that's something you'd like to look into, you can. But I was not expecting to see it represented in this. I don't know why. I'm just in the back of my head always deciding that ace probably isn't going to come up, and that's okay. And the fact that it was alluded to even slightly, I'm like bubbly inside for it. let's just keep going. Being trans has nothing to do with sexual orientation. It's like saying I'm trans, so I must like cupcakes. It's just silly. Everyone has preferences. There are people who are trans who like cupcakes, trans people who don't like cupcakes, and vice versa. Captain Cupcake. Who doesn't like cupcakes? I don't really like cupcakes. I like muffins. I like cake. But with a cupcake, if you bite into it, you just get frosting on your nose. I can never unhinge my jaw like a snake enough to bite and get frosting and cake. What am I going to do? Use a fork? I'm not a cupcake person. And then Nihi. Hi everyone, I finally worked up the courage to post after lurking on here for the last few weeks. Let me introduce myself. I'm Nihi and I'm 15 and I love cupcakes. I'm posting here because, well, I don't like being a boy. No, that's not right. I don't feel like a boy. I don't really know what I am, but I know that calling myself a guy feels weird. I know the word trans because of something I read that explains what LGBT means, but I'm still a bit lost. To be trans, do I have to transition and become a girl completely? Because while I don't feel comfortable being a boy, I also don't really feel happy telling myself I could be a girl either. Help. Okay, quick. Oh, finally, a post I feel like I can answer. First of all, hiya. Pleased to meet you. Well done for working up the courage to post here. And don't worry about it. Some people work for months. You only took a few weeks. In fact, you really remind me of myself. I was born with a vagina, but I don't feel like a girl, and I don't feel like a boy either. I'm sort of in between, something we generally call non-binary. So I'm not a man or a woman, but something between the two. Between is a really weird phrasing because it's like exists entirely separate, because some people don't feel between either. I don't have a problem with someone mistaking me for a girl in the street, and most of my friends use feminine pronouns, but some days I dress very masculine with a binder to hide my breasts and sometimes even a false beard, and I use masculine pronouns. It depends on how I feel that day. I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, in the end I'm just me. So maybe that's what you're feeling? If that's the case, welcome to the club. Oh, it's cute to see Captain Cupcake so excited. This really feels like just the section for anyone who started playing this game who did not know about LGBT to help explain it to them. But I'm going to keep reading because, like I said earlier, I don't know how earlier, I don't know what my audience is going to be in the future. And I'd like you guys to know these things, if you don't already. I think I've got a few things to add to your response. Gender isn't some kind of switch with boy on one side and girl on the other. Even me, a trans man using hormones and going through a mastectomy, operation move breasts, I don't feel 100% like a man. I'm close, and I identify as one and present myself as a man, but I'm not 100%, that's all. There's no good or bad way to be trans. It's all about finding your comfort zone, both for the gender you identify with and the gender you present to others. You might feel very feminine, but present as a man and use he in your daily life. It's all about what you're comfortable with. So, Nikki, you're probably not 100% a man, but it doesn't mean you have to be 100% a woman either. And even if you are 100% a woman, you don't have to take hormones or have an operation if you don't want to. Take your time, explore your gender and your identity, and see where it takes you. If in the end you realize that your identity is non-binary, cool. You can talk about people here, like Captain Cupcake. If you realize that you're more female, that's cool too. You can also talk about people here. Do you have any other questions? My question is, how much of my voice am I going to lose from this? I was planning on streaming Stardew Valley after I recorded this, and I might not have time. Oh, this is taking longer than I thought. Wow, I didn't think I'd get such good answers so quickly. Thank you both, you're great. I still feel lost, but it's reassuring to know I'm not alone. So now I'd like to ask something else. I think I want to explore my more feminine side, but I have no idea how to do it. Any suggestions? I want to start off small. I'm not exactly going to go out in a dress and heels tomorrow or anything. I don't have any in any case. Tessie Star, I don't think you need to look far for that. If you have friends who are open to it, or if you have a mom or a sister and you're able to borrow their stuff quietly enough for them not to notice, you could ask them if you can borrow nail polish or makeup, for example. You could wear it for a few hours or a day, or even all weekend, and see how you feel. After that, I guess you could try wearing some feminine clothes. That's about as far as my ideas go for now. Does anyone else have any suggestions? A push-up bra or a wig. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with that, but since we were in the coming out section, I want to tell you what happened to me. Yesterday I had some really bad news, and I really needed to talk to someone. I went to see my best friend A, who I've always presented myself to as a girl and who has no idea I'm a trans lady. I told her my story, she really listened, and then I finished off by telling her that I'm trans. I was expecting some awful reaction, but she was super understanding and really cool about it. It made me so happy. I'm still on a high. Oh, I'm not going to read that second paragraph yet. I'm checking the date. I'm not looking down. Nope. So this was back in... Oh, this was like 2-3 weeks ago. So I've made a big decision. It's my birthday at the end of the month. We're throwing a big party to celebrate my 18th. All my family's going to be there, and I think I'm going to take the chance and announce my news to everyone. A will be there too, so I'll have someone to support me. She's not going to be there, though. she ended up not being able to be there. Or was that New Year's? I don't think she was there. Wow, that's really brave, Sam. Think maybe a bit too brave. Don't you think it might be better to tell them one at a time when it feels right, rather than putting yourself under a huge amount of pressure like that? It might be a downer on your birthday party. Okay, I admit I'm saying this right now because I'm caught up in the moment. I'll wait and see. I'm pretty sure Sam might have gone with not, since Alice wasn't ending up there. Who knows? We'll keep reading and going. Sorry for this annoying message, but do you have any advice to help me come out to my friends and family? There are no annoying questions from Cleo Nito. I keep trying to read it as Cleo Nito. I don't know why. I would say you can ask a professional for advice if you think you really need it. It can be useful to get support in cases like that. If you don't want to do that, some people recommend by starting... I'm reading so much I'm starting to scramble. Some people recommend starting by writing down the key words and phrases that sound good. I like how people are talking so much more on this forum than they were anywhere else in this game, because people on the internet ramble. Way more than you do in text, so way more than you do in email. Something about being on a forum is just like tap. Some people come out with a letter/email because they feel more at ease that way. Others do it directly with people close to them. It depends on how you feel, I guess. For people close to you, immediate family, I think it would probably be best to do it one by one or group by group, like both parents together if possible. It depends a lot on you, the people around you, what seems easiest for you. And it won't be easy, but try to stay open to the questions that people will ask, even if you find it hard. Thanks. I think the first thing I'll do is get it all written down. Hey, Sam, think it's your birthday soon, isn't it? Good luck for your coming out. Oh, wait up a sec. Really? Why? Go take a look at what I posted in the rant section. You'll understand. Oh, yeah, I see. Good luck anyway. That was really the discovery about Eric. And then that's the Heady Boss thing. So let's see, that's the 29th. Let's just double check general ranting, see what the date of that thing that we saw was. 27th. Yep. Okay, so next will be hormones and operations. And we're only at 17 minutes. Here you can ask any questions you have about hormones and operations. Hi, I've been wondering a lot recently how hormones work. I've been dressing as a girl for a while, but people give me weird looks in the street. I feel like everybody sees me as a guy. I don't know any trans women IRL, so I haven't really got anyone I can ask. Can someone tell me what the hormones I can take, how it works, and the side effects? If you've taken them, how did it go for you? If you've chosen not to take them, why? Hey, I've been taking them for 3 years, so I think I can help. To put it simply, taking hormones is like going through puberty all over again. You go through all the same physical changes, like growing boobs and mental ones. You'll be very, very emotional sometimes, and that's about all there is to know. The side effects really vary depending on the person and dose. Some people tend to have a lower sex drive, less energy, or even feel a bit depressed. But in the end, it's equivalent to cis women's hormones, and they're fine with it. Unfortunately, there's no way to know in advance. On one hand, you can limit the risk by starting with small doses. Regarding taking the treatment, it depends on how it's prescribed. I rub a gel into my stomach and thighs once per day and take a small pill. It's as simple as that. So there you go. Hope that helps. If you ever have any other questions, just ask. Hi, I don't want to spoil the mood, but Tassie Star, your reply seems a little bit too optimistic to me. You didn't say anything about the consequences in the world around you. When you start to transition, there is, of course, a time where you're going to be at an awkward stage where people give you weird looks, whether you present yourself as a man or a woman. It can be a handicap for your studies, work, and social relationships, and it can also be dangerous depending on the context. Sorry to be so blunt, but the reason I'm not taking hormones at the moment is because I know that I would probably have my mouth smashed in if I went out in the street. So I hope I've also helped to answer your question, Super Pocket. I know what I've said might be a bit discouraging, but you need to know all the aspects of transitioning before you start. I really hope that my housemates are cooking, and that's the burning I smell. You're totally right to mention all that, Cleonito. It's true that my experience taking hormones has been very positive. My transition was quick and went well. My friends and family all supported my decision, and I live in an area that generally isn't too transphobic. About the side effects, they really vary depending on your treatment plan, and it's related to the country you live in. Some meds used in one country are illegal in another, mostly because they can cause depression. And we all react differently to hormones. Some women respond very well, others not so much, some very badly, and there's no way to know in advance. Super Pocket, I think the only piece of advice I can give you is to think carefully whether you can afford to transition right now. Think about your parents, schools, friends, and if you'd be able to hold up any of the worst side effects. If you still think you're ready to go through with it, I'd say go for it. It'll change your life. When you're called Miss by someone super cute, it'll make all the effort worthwhile. Bonsai! Hey there, since we're talking about medical stuff, I'd like to ask you a question about operations. I've been taking hormones for just under a year. It's all going really well for now. and I'm starting to think about getting various operations. I've heard getting your Adam's apple removed is quite an easy one, though I find that hard to believe it's still an operation on your throat. Hey, it's me again. I had the operation a few months ago to get my Adam's apple removed. As you can probably imagine, I was really stressed about it, but it all turned out okay in the end. I didn't feel anything, I just had a sore throat for a few days. But the other operations are probably going to get more complicated. You guys are talking a lot about hormones and operations, but do you really have to do all that when you are trans? It scares me. I can't even make myself get piercings, and I don't really want to do it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything at all. You're not less trans if you haven't had an operation or aren't taking hormones. If you don't feel the need to do it, no problem. Gender's between your ears, not your legs. Still, just remember that hormones don't just come in scary syringes. They can come in pills and gel form too. To tell the truth, I've been confused about and doubting myself a lot. For example, I've been worried I might not be trans enough, but your answer was really reassuring. Thanks again. You guys have said a lot about female transition, but how does it work for trans men? Do the hormones have the same effects? From Simba. No, you get completely different effects when you take testosterone. I've just started taking it and haven't had any effects yet, but as far as I know, here's what's in store. Hair's thickening, voice getting deeper. Careful, the change is permanent. Redistribution of fat. Your face will change a bit more. Squareness in the jaw. Easier to muscle up. Breasts getting smaller. Hair loss. Sweating more. Increase in libido. With moods, it can vary. Generally, someone gets more nervous or short-tempered at the beginning and gradually learns to manage it. Some people get no change at all and stay stable. Oh yeah, and your periods reduce or even disappear completely. There's also some small effects down below, but I'm not going to write about that here. Nothing bad, so don't worry about it. Most of the effects happen progressively during the first month of testosterone and then carry on for about 2 years after you start taking them. That's pretty much it. Then there's Hetty Boss again. Alright, beauty. We are at 22 minutes. This is, that's not a long one. Let's get beauty done. Yeah, let's get beauty done. Hi everyone, I thought it'd be good if we posted all our beauty tips here. What are your morning rituals for when you want to look pretty? Hey, unfortunately I don't have any beauty tips to offer. I'm actually looking for some, lol, I really need some help. I started testosterone last week, and I really want to celebrate by doing something special, like a new haircut or something, but I've got no idea what to do. Help, I've got a normal, feminine face, round with a small nose and smart mouth. Any ideas? I'm open to any ideas that can help bring out the male in me, lol. Don't worry, I'm sure we can find something that works for you. Most cuts for guys are shorter at the sides and longer at the top. It's just looking on the internet or in fashion magazines to find a reference that fits you. Whether it's a character from a TV show or an ordinary person, it's better if you find references from guys who have a face with a shape similar to yours. The more you have, the easier it will be to choose one that suits you. And your hairdresser will certainly be happy to send some pictures of the results you're looking for. Thanks, I'm going to the hairdresser tomorrow. You're welcome. I went to the hairdresser, but I'm not sure about the cut I got. What do you think? Hello Simba, this is just to let you know that I removed this photo from your message. It's not because I'm the mean admin who deletes everything, but if the forum has rules, it's so they can be respected. I don't want anything that allows people to identify the members of the forum. It's safer for everyone. So what should I do to get hair opinions on my new hairstyle? You need to go to the VIP part of the forum for that. Cool, what do I need to do to get in? I only invite people to the VIP section that I've met IRL. Come meet me at Trans Pride on December 19th. Perhaps the book fair? I always thought it would be it would be some kind of pride. I suspected it was a pride parade of some sort. Yay, got one more. Okay, so this isn't really a beauty tip, but I'd still like to share it. It's a mistake you should all try to avoid. Those electric epilators for cis women that are supposed to be able to use on your face, don't even try to use them if you're a trans woman. Using them on facial hair really hurts, believe me. Lol, Super Pog, you just made me laugh real hard. Then there's Hetty Boss again. Cool. How long is hobbies? Enough to have the thing, so we're going to do that on the next one. Most of these look short. I'm going to try to knock it out, because if I can, then we can go into the VIP and have that be all the next video and have it be more themed. In this thread, you can talk about anything you like that's not related to trans identity. Is there a world beyond trans identity? Lol. There is, and it's gray, boring, and dull. What are we supposed to talk about here, then? Like music, films, video games, art, cooking? All these topics and more if you like. Sports, clubbing, nature, computers, shopping, pets, travel. This is the anything goes part of the forum. Now you've given us too many topics, lol. No, but it's good. It's a start. You mentioned sports, and I have a question, because I like playing table tennis. Does anybody know anybody else who plays? I don't, but I know in some cities there are LGBT-inclusive sports clubs with many different activities. I've got friends who play volleyball in the Eliopools Club. Maybe you can check and see if there's one in your city. Is it a big city? I live in a village, but it's not far from Eliopool. What about music, then? What are your favorite bands or singers? There are even organized tournaments where the clubs from different cities participate. There are friendly competitions. They are friendly competitions, but great fun. I volunteered for one, and I'm looking forward to the next time. I can ask for my friends for the club's contact details. Thanks, don't worry, found them already. They don't have a table tennis group, but if there are more people interested, maybe we can start a group in January. Ooh, January. There are many other sports, though. Maybe I'll give the badminton group a try. I've been listening to Edward Frolov and Cedric Menendez. They're pretty cool. Anyone else know them? Yes, I like them too. What kind of music is it? They're along the lines of Sto Snock. If you know him maybe. We should meet and go to concert from time to time. Clonito, please remember that arranging meetings in person is only allowed in the VIP section of the forum. Don't post a meeting time and place in public. No worries, I just mentioned it as a possibility, not something to do now. I'm more into jazz, indie rock, and classic music, though I'm a musician myself. Impressive, same thing. What do you play? Does anyone know Hector Bont and Corinne Fenoglio? Captain Cupcake, yes, I know them too. I play the harp, but I'm focusing more on composing lately. Maybe it's a way to make a living or at least a bit of money as a freelancer. That's quite interesting to know, Sam Thing. I hope your town allows you to make enough money. That way you might be able to avoid workplace discrimination and those kinds of contracts. Tessie Star, boo! I thought this was the thread for hobbies and free time. Don't talk about work here. You'll be reported to the admins. Tessie Star's the admin, though. But you're right, it's also an interesting topic. Maybe you or whoever should start a new thread about work for trans people. I'm just starting to send some compositions. I'm waiting for the response. You're right, this should be about free time. Haha, thanks for the suggestion. And then there's good old Hetty Boss. Alright, so we're at the VIP part. Doop. That's gonna mark the end of my turn. Let me cast the controller on back to you. Okay. Gotta come clean. I am not completely happy with this episode because most of it was just me reading. Not a lot of it was my own input, and I'm hoping that changes soon. That's going to mark the end of my turn. Let me cast the controller on back to you and hope you pass along again soon. I'll ABC you next time. Bye-bye, guys.